People are starting to dump. They're dumping on the curve, and the garbage truck is starting to ride by them. So we need a coordination with our blight team, and it's election time. Everybody finna be doing cleanups. All we gotta do is know when is your garbage day, put some stuff on the curve. If the garbage truck roll by, can't pick it up, make a call, send another garbage truck out, send somebody from land bank, or send somebody from the blight department. Real simple. Real simple. Maybe even put garbage cans up in the neighborhood on garbage day. Thank you.
The next speaker is Dion Freeman.
Good evening, Council. My comments were for Finance Committee.
This is Finance Committee.
I thought this was a special meeting. This is, oh, my bad there. Thank you. My fault, I was distracted back there. I, as well as the other people who are here talking about the water rate hikes, we know it's unfair. We keep getting slapped in the face. We were slapped in the face when we were poisoned with water. We were slapped in the face when we were given $1,000. We're being slapped in the face again with the low water rate. My question is on Resolution 260073. The whole resolution wasn't given to the public, but inside of the email. After the meeting information is there, the resolution inside of it talks about a citizen participation plan. And this is on how the dollars are going to be spent. So my question is where does a citizen partition plan meet? Who are the citizen participant plan individuals involved? I don't know if anybody else knows about the citizenship participation plan. So I just want more information on that. Thank you.
The next speaker is Audrey Muhammad.
Good evening. I'm gonna try to do this fast because I got a lot to say today. First, I'd like to take a moment just to say, keep Bishop Bernadette Jefferson in your prayers for the loss of her husband this morning. Mr. Latham was definitely a mouthpiece, a pillar in our community. First, I had a tear in my eye, and then I started laughing and thinking about some of the antic things that he would say, and I called her and said that to her, and I got a laugh out of her this morning. I said, sister, his death will not be in vain. But just keep her in your prayers. Even last week, because that lead me into us going down to speak at Gleewood last week, because he gave us our pep talk, took our picture of us. He didn't get in the picture with us. That made me mad now, because he could have gotten that picture. But he gave us our pep talk and helped get us out the door. And not only did he do that, he went down there and spoke up for the citizens of Flint. And when he spoke about why the Netherlands came to support us, because they were getting some of their military equipment made here in Flint, and that the water was rusting out the parts. And so they came down here to support us when the water crisis first started. My daughter asked me, what was he talking about and why was he mentioning the Netherlands? Once I explained it to her, she said, okay, I got it. So let me just say this to you all, as a city council, you all have the ability to lower Flint citizens' water rates by lowering our service fees. It's been said before this council became the council members. It's been said years ago. You all, please, somebody come and bring a resolution to the floor, and the rest of you all get behind that resolution. Don't keep shooting it down. Don't shoot it down. Don't shoot it down. The residents are suffering. You all said it, but then you stand up and don't even back it. Back that up. The citizens need lower water rates. You all can take care of that. I complained a couple of weeks ago. I'm just letting you know, I complained downstairs about the lights out front to the right of the city council, of the city hall. They're not working around to the front part. I did complain about it. They said they were going to take care of it. It had to be something like a simple switch because all of the lights are out, but they still out. I know they've been out at least since January the 12th. My car got hit out front that particular day, so I know they were out that day. Got a complaint, and somebody called and said that there's people campaigning here at City Hall, passing out popcorn with their pictures on it. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what the word came. I thought there was no campaigning here at City Hall for candidates. Somebody need to look into that, and somebody need to put a stop and a halt to that. Yes, we do know how much money, we need to know how much money is in the ARPA funds, but don't y'all come saying it now since y'all getting ready to get up for re-election. Y'all should have said that 4 years ago when you first got in and knew how much money was there.
The next speaker is Claire McClinton.
Yes, I want to spend this time to also send and hope that the city of Flint send their regards to the sudden passing of Latham Jefferson. He was, as has already been said, a pillar. He had no problem speaking truth to power. We enjoyed his, when he would have public speaking at different events, he would remind the leaders or elected officials how important Flint was to keeping democracy in America. He said that's why we don't speak German, because of the work that was done in the plants, building the equipment, tanks, and what have you here in the city of Flint. So we really gonna miss him. We got our hearts out to Bishop Jefferson. They was like a tag team. You didn't hardly see one without the other. And very few people know that Latham Jefferson was the first resident to file a complaint with the EPA in Washington. It's a little known fact about the spirit of Mr. Jefferson, so I just wanted us to give a moment of silence for him. Thank you.
The next speaker is Micaiah Owens.
Good evening, Micaiah Owens, Flint City resident. I'm an attorney and I'm running for mayor. But the reason why I'm speaking tonight is the present approach of the present administration has been open the taxpayer's purse without a fight. And that has
president got your
Yes, praise the Lord. How are you, Tom?
Good, how are you?
information that was given to y'all earlier, far as they shouldn't even raise our water bill one time, yet this is going to be the second time it's being done. So
Madam Chair, that was our last speaker.
Madam Secretary, the time is now 4:41. Calling this The time is now 4:42. We're calling this Special Affairs Committee meeting to order. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Mr. Al-Alamin?
Present. Present.
Dr. Lewis is not in. Ms. Johnson?
Present.
Ms. Priestley?
Present.
Ms. Winfrey Carter is not in. Ms. Burns?
Present.
Ms. Mashat? Present. Mr. Pfeiffer? Mr. Jared?
Present.
We have 7 members present.
We have 7 members present. Now we'll have the reading of the disorderly persons city code subsection. Any person that persists in disrupting this meeting will be in violation of Flint City Code Section 3110, disorderly conduct, assault and battery, and disorderly persons, and will be subject to arrest for a misdemeanor. Any person who prevents the peaceful and orderly conduct of any meeting will be given 1 warning. If they persist in disrupting the meeting, that individual will be subject to arrest. Violators will be removed from the meeting. Are there any requests for agenda changes or additions? Any requests for agenda changes or additions? Seeing no movement, we will move on to public comment. Members of the public who wish to address the City Council or its committees must register before the meeting begins. A box will be placed at the entrance to the council chambers for collection of registrations. No additional speakers or slips will be accepted after the meeting begins. Members of the public shall have no more than 3 minutes per speaker during the public comment, with only 1 speaking opportunity per speaker. Madam Clerk, the first public speaker, please.
First public speaker is Michael Clack.
Good evening, Council. First, I would like to commend the council members who stood strong on fact and truth and refused to fall in line behind the mayor's $1 million Band-Aid proposal. It takes courage to stand on principle, and the residents of Flint recognize the council members who choose facts and transparency over political pressure. The mayor knew these water rates the water rate increases were coming. This did not happen overnight. In fact, the mayor himself called on the citizens of Flint to go to Detroit and speak at the GLEWA meeting about the proposed increases. The residents answered that call. We took time off work, we drove to Detroit, and we supported our city. But while the citizens showed up, the mayor did not. Our state representative did not. The people elected to represent Flint were absent, while the residents were left alone doing the job we elected them to do. If the mayor truly wanted support from this community, he should have come before this council and presented a real plan, instead of asking residents to do his job and using us as pawns for political points. Just last year, this administration used $2 million to absorb a water rate increase. Now we're being told another $1 million is needed to do the same thing. So here's the question most of us residents are asking. How long is $1 million supposed to help the people of Flint? How far will it go? A few months? Or just long enough to push this problem onto the next mayor? And the residents have been warning the city about these issues for years. Rich Jones has consistently spoken about the need to stabilize the water fund and bring balance to residents' water bills. Ms. Claire has been asking for $15 million for years to help the residents. These concerns were repeatedly raised, but always ignored. Now let's talk about Lansing. Instead of requesting $25 million for a nonprofit that doesn't exist, our state representative could have requested $25 million to help the city with these rising costs. Imagine what $25 million would have done for Flint's water system. In one of his many press conferences, the mayor bragged about his experiences. But experience should bring foresight, it should bring planning, it should bring solutions before residents are forced to carry the burden. So with all this state and federal money that has flown through this city, a simple question remains. Was there ever a question as to whether we should buy or could buy our way out of the GLEWA contract? Instead of long-term solutions, what the residents continue to see is political maneuvering, pressure, and at times even vindictiveness towards those who oppose certain elected officials. We're not asking for miracles. We're asking for transparency, accountability, and leadership that actually stands with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, the next speaker, please.
Next public speaker is Melissa Zambrowski.
Hi, my name is Melissa Zaremski, First Ward. I was disappointed the mayor blaming city council for not approving this because he doesn't have a plan. Considering, he asked for $2 million last year. What is he going to do after the fact when he doesn't have any money of this or any ARPA money left over? Which I'm not even understanding, obviously, where this ARPA money went to, as some city council were supposed to get some and have not received it. A lot of questions there. The residents don't want to sit there and the city keeps saying, we're going to cover this, we're going to cover this, and then next thing you know, when we see our water bill, we're going to be like, holy shit, where did this come from? I mean, let's start thinking ahead here. And my other issue is, Leon, you do not live in the First Ward, nor have you lived in the First Ward. So I'm not even really understanding why you're in that seat. All I could sit there and hope the FBI ends up doing something. I really don't know. But all this nonsense that's going up here, apparently, Judy, you did get a nice kitchen from Ashley Capital, from my understanding. I won't forget about Eva Worthing, who got apparently a brand new bathroom. Liddell Lewis got, $1,500 in Halloween candy. Not sure what else she got. We seem to get a lot of people who are, in for themselves instead of the residents. LaShawn, I'm not going to forget about you neither, honey, because apparently, you won the lottery thing where you got a new roof, new porch, new siding, new windows, all that great stuff, where the residents have gotten nothing. Eric May sat there and proposed, I think it was, $16 million or something years ago for residents to get help. We haven't gotten nothing. $94.7 million came to this city. And what has benefited all the residents, not just a handful of residents? I'm just not understanding. I get it, it's election season, but if people look back at how y'all behaved and did residents and that, I really hope you don't win on re-election, especially you, Leon. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Next speaker.
R.L. Mitchell.
Hello, America. My name is R.L. Mitchell. For the record, for the peoples down there in Georgia, you see I'm carrying a Coca-Cola. I asked the lawyer to open it up for me. And she's so cautious, she said, did you shake it up? There she is over there. She's supposed to be taking care of the peoples in Flint. But I said the peoples gave it to me when I first come in. Instead of giving me water to get a Coke. But I drank my first Coke in Georgia, a little small bottle. And when I drank it, it went through my mouth, it came out my nose. But they took all the chemicals out, or whatever, the cocaine out. But I'm saying this, pay attention to Madam Burns, because she called us to fix the pipes in Flint to stop this poisonous black peoples, that's all kind of, the rest, all peoples in Flint. Because like the other peoples, they can't get to the bottom of it, but I want you to know, the woman that killed lied on Emmett Till down there, she just bit the dust last week. And that's what our mayor reminded me of. And and they found out she had a warrant after arrest, after she died. And the mayor, the same way as she is, because the fireman sued the mayor, but he refused to give him $250,000 because they protected him. Like you southern peoples down south, detecting peoples who kill peoples, and they just hang them on a tree and make fun of like trick-or-treat, Halloween. Like Miss Priestley over there, Ward 4. Look at her, thinking what she gonna do to the we the peoples tonight. And the president, the vice president calling the shots today, Miss Priestley. The Madam President ain't saying nothing because she gonna give it to the vice president. But we the people gonna sit back and let, if she can get the black man, the people's in a food market, the Reverend, what's his name, Flint, to open up the supermarket, and my college with deep pockets gave him $1 million, and they up there acting like Miss Priestley don't want to tell us how much money we got in the apple farm, how much you got to wait till the news brought that fake news in front of outside in front of the sidewalk. So you people from down south in New York, stay tuned, because we finna deal with them whatever it is downstairs under our feet, the little man downstairs, the mayor, and like I say, good evening, and stay tuned.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Next speaker.
Arthur Woodson.
Good evening. I spoke with Councilman Jarrett and Councilman Pfeiffer about an issue that is going on. I put some pictures up last week from Ms. Towner, and it showed where they were doing better lead-safe homes, where they go in, fix the windows, paint, do different things from state money. Michael Carpenter, I had no issues or beef with. Matter of fact, I congratulated him on the job, talked to him. They took our grant that we wrote to do in-home plumbing, and I thought that he would do a great service for the people here in the city of Flint. But after I saw those pictures and videos, along with Ms. Jamerson, and after I started seeing all the comments and receiving all the evidence backing up their stories, this needs to be dealt with, and I mean immediately. Immediately. Why do they think the people of Flint deserve less? Why do they think we are subpar? Why do they think that they can do anything to us? Because they feel that the people do not have protection. I heard y'all talking about that the administration will not give y'all any documentation. Guess what? Councilman Mays said it all the time. Y'all have subpoena power. You could subpoena documents. They have to give it to you. We have to stop and really sit back and start listening to each other that really want to fight for the people. It's not the fact that we can't get along. It's the fact that the people who we are trying to help is fighting the people who's trying to help them. If I'm trying to steal from you, I am not going to work with you to give to the people here in the city of Flint. So I have to fight you in order to give to the people who deserve what Flint is trying to give. So it might look like a fight. You might want us to get along, but sometimes we can't. I never seen God ask the devil to come to the table and let's compromise for all the religious folks that's always quoting the Bible. It's not going to happen, especially not in the political world. You're going to always have Republicans, Democrats, good, bad, evil, good, whatever. We have to check this out. They have photos, they have videos. The company is cousins with Michael Carpenter, I'm hearing. It's a whole lot of stuff going on. And this needs to be checked out. And they stole her bottles. They stole her bottles and gave her $20, man. I'm serious, talk to her. She got the videos and everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Next speaker.
Darrell Brown.
It's Darrell Brown, just putting it out there. Darrell Brown, 7th Ward City Council candidate. So I just want to start off by saying I love each and every single one of you. When y'all doing good, I got y'all back. That's 100%. I'm all about the people, so when y'all looking out for the people, great job. When you're not, we have an issue. I wanted to bring some youth down here, right, so they can get an experience. I'm gonna let y'all know something. They are scared to come here. They are. That's an issue. They scared to come down here because they feel like the police is gonna get called on them. They seen some videos that have been surfacing, and I'm like, nah, come down here. It's not what you think. But when they see footage, I can't necessarily fight footage. You know, when people got taken out of here, that's the thing. I'm trying to figure out a way to, you know, go above that to get them here. Some way, form, or fashion, I'm gonna do that. I can say this. One thing we definitely need here is love and respect. Regardless if y'all like each other or not, you should be able to work with one another. It doesn't matter what's going on. And that's what I aim to do, is work with whoever's willing to work together for the people. It's not about no personal agendas or specific agendas or anything like that. But what's unique to me is some of the things I wouldn't expect for people to vote for, and they do. It only leads me to believe that there's backroom deals going on. I'm not calling anybody out specifically, but it's kind of strange. If you're not doing nothing to align your pockets or go with where the money is at, then you would do everything you can in your ability to look out for the people. You would bring resources here and keep resources here. That's in the job description, making sure we hold the mayor and also departments accountable, checks and balances, right? And then also, if anything, make sure that people aren't taken from Flint, but bring things here, the resources, and keep it here. They shouldn't have to go to Grand Blanc, Davidson, or anything like that. They should be here in Flint. One of the things that I want to do is bring community centers here. I'm not going to tell you where, just in case somebody try to steal my, no, I'm just kidding. I can tell you I do, like Pierce School, right? What they doing with Pierce School? Nothing. They built it up, they're not doing anything, but why not make that into a community center for the youth? So I'm about the youth, and I'm also about the elders as well. I love hanging out with the elders because I can learn a lot from y'all. You know, the ones that's been, I'm the youngest person, and I'm looking at each and every single one of y'all. I'm willing to learn from y'all. I am. Teach me something. And I'm asking, just as a resident of Flint, you know, if you really are the leaders that you say that you are, I'm gonna ask each and every single one of y'all. I'm gonna ask y'all for insight. If you can't do that, that's gonna let me know something. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Next speaker.
Sarah Houston.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see everybody again. In case you don't remember, my name is Sarah Houston. I live in the 6th Ward. I am a lifelong resident. My parents, who are deaf, raised me here in the city of Flint. I have a son who lives here, goes to school at Michigan School for the Deaf. I'm a sign language interpreter of over 20 years and a strong advocate for accessibility in ASL. And I've been coming down here for a long time now, and yet and still, nothing. The mayor seems to be able to bring on a sign language interpreter when he sees fit, when it looks pretty damn good for him. I'm hoping he's changing his ways and going to do them all the time, but I would like to see them at every single event that's put on by the city, every single broadcast that is spoken on Facebook and YouTube. I would like to see them here at City Council. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of you guys ignoring a very huge population in this city. And I would like to know and hear if and when you guys plan to get up off of your behinds and do something about it. When is the budget supposed to be passed? Keep telling me, Judy, it's the budget, it's the budget. When is that? When? When you have things for staplers, you have things for paper. A little less of that may give a lot more to a deaf person, some information, some access to their city, their resources. And I'm just sick of it. I've been working and busy and not been able to get here. I don't have a lot of time. I got to babysit my grandbaby, but I came from work straight to here because I had time to come here and say, I'm sick of it. Do something. I'm glad to see that there are other people that are running for these seats. I'd be glad to see young people sitting in these seats, people that want to do something for their city, because I don't know what y'all want to do. This ARPA money, Band-Aid stuff, ARPA money is supposed to be for resources, not to fix a problem that y'all fucked up a long time ago. Excuse my language. It just don't make no sense to me. When are we gonna do something? Y'all keep standing behind that man on stuff and he's not doing nothing for the city. Just doing stuff to make himself look good. I'm just calling stuff as I see it. This is my personal life. I've lived here all my life. I love Flint. And I'm really considering leaving because I'm sick of it. Have a good day.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Next speaker.
Deborah Coleman. Deborah Coleman.
How y'all doing? My name is Deborah Coleman. I live in the First Ward. I know we have several issues in the city of Flint that are priority. The number one is the water. We need clean drinking water. We also need affordable water that we can afford to pay and don't have to be worried about our water getting turned off or scurrying around to all these agencies to get some help to pay the water bill. That's one of the main things. Another thing, I got a few questions. I got a water main break around the corner from where I stay at on Castle Lane. This going on the 4th week. I mean, the water just running. Nobody's done anything. They got some little stickers around there, but the water constantly running. We had the water main leak in front of Big John's that leaked all through the winter, had the roads icy for a little half a mile. That was really dangerous. They came to fix it and they made their own man-made sinkhole. I come roll over it, almost tear my car up. I'm just trying to figure out, I seen another, several main water leaks, and I'm trying to figure out why is all of a sudden, we got all these water main leaks. And then another thing, the sinkholes. Y'all keep patching up the sinkhole in front of the hammer droppers. Y'all done patched that a couple of times. Y'all put Apsalt on it. The one big sinkhole on 5th by Rallies, y'all put Apsalt and kept filling that. We got one on Pengelly that y'all got dirt and rocks in. When you come down that street, rocks popping all up under your car. I just want to know who is over this, who is giving the okay that, oh, that's okay, that's done correctly. Who's doing that? And if we don't have, like Ms. Burns said yesterday, if we don't have enough staff to do things, bring somebody from outside to come in and fix this stuff. I mean, this our city. I mean, it's just terrible. And we need some things done around here. We need some people that's gonna stand up and stand up for us. And that's all I can say. You know, I'm glad everybody coming in. We need everybody coming in from the wards to come in and talk, because I figure if we get a lot of people that come in here and start talking to y'all and throwing this stuff at y'all, you know, maybe they'll see that everybody wants something to happen. Until we all stand up and come down here and speak our mind, nothing's gonna happen. It just seems like things are just being done how, I don't wanna say y'all, because I know a lot of y'all is working hard, you know, to make Flint better, but we need some help around here. We need some real, true help. We need some people that's gonna work together and get our city together. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. The next speaker, please.
Claire McClinton.
Good afternoon, Council. I'm here to suggest to you to stop doing the same thing over and over and looking for different results. Doing the same thing over and over and looking for the same results, which is usually bad and negative for the residents. Now, in 2022, City Council of Flint passed a resolution taking $8-point-something million out of the opera funds to pay a $300 credit for water. That's almost 10% of the whole opera fund that was used. Back then, we said, well, what's the long game? That's a Band-Aid. How many of those people today water is off because they resumed the high water rates they had? Now, last year, you put an additional $2 million on the water fund. Now you want to put another $1 million. When does it stop? We need concrete changing solutions that's changed the whole trajectory of how we pay for our water. Just throwing money at the problem is not going to do it. We have a crazy water agreements and things that need to be investigated by capable attorneys and corporate people that know how to look into these things. We got 3 of you sitting on the KWA board, and nobody, to our understanding, we stand corrected, nobody is sitting on the GLEWA board, but everybody agree. Jesus Christ, Lucifer, and everybody agree they shouldn't raise the rates. They should not raise the water rates. But the division come in when you talk about what you're going to do about it. We had a damning report just a few weeks ago from Armanda about the status of the water, whose hundreds of people are facing shutoffs. Many hundreds more may be facing foreclosure, and what you're proposing about money added to the water fund because of the water rate hike is not going to change that. We were in bad shape before GLEWA made that decision. 500 or 600 people signed signatures for a water affordability plan. Where is it?
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Next speaker.
Beverly Biggs Levy.
My name is Beverly Biggs Levy. I'm running for the 3rd Ward City Council seat. Liddell, it feels sad to be on the limb all by yourself. It's sad, but I know you big girl, you'll handle it. Leon, you guys need to pray for Kiki. I'm seriously. I sat by that woman this morning, and I was almost in tears, where she's gonna drop them charges on Leon. What? It is sad, really sad. She's doing what's best for her. I don't know it, I haven't heard it. But you could tell he doesn't threaten her in some kind of way. You can tell it, you can see it in her face. But you know what? God has something for him. He has something for him. We in this water rate, I had a flood around the corner from my house 2 weeks ago. The water was off for 2 days. Who's gonna reimburse us for them 2 days we ain't had no water? You know, we bought water, we had to go to different people's house to shower, all this kind of different things. Y'all not looking at the people. All you worried about is fattening your pockets. I got $10 here, I got $20 there. It's sad. We're gonna lose everything we got with this mayor. He did not get on the news until the day before we had to go to Detroit. That should have been dead a month ago. He should have been speaking about it every day, every day. It was not spoke about the water. They're gonna raise the rate. It was not spoke about it. It's sad that we are going through what we're going through, and you rubber stamps say give it to him. We had $40 million in the ARPA fund money. We had 2.8. Where did the rest of it go? You know, we got to wake up, people. Leon, I pray for you. You're a monster, and you know you're a monster. But you know what? You're gonna get yours. Your day gonna come. You can get it after I leave. You can say what you want to say about. I'm always criticizing you. You a joke. You the biggest dummy I ever seen. Y'all pray for Leon and keep on moving.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Next speaker.
Audrey Muhammad.
Alrighty, I'm Audrey Muhammad, Second Ward, also looking to get on the ballot for the Second Ward Council seat. Want to talk about the water main break that's right at my house. I made a phone call downstairs to DPW this morning, and they said it's 20 breaks that they have on record. Some have been over 2 weeks, and they're trying to fix the ones that's as a priority. Meanwhile, if people get water ran all in their house or wherever, they just going to suffer until they get out there to fix it. That ain't fair. That is not fair. If we got money in surplus, plus, like they say, bring somebody in. I mean, come on, let's be for real. You ain't putting the citizens first. Lights still out in the front. When we left out of here on Wednesday, they still out. I called back down here. I checked my phone records. It was February the 13th that I called down here, and the lights had already been out since at least January the 12th. It is not safe in the front when it's dark. What happened? Why is it not there? I'm going to say this. Candace and Judy, what the mayor said on Saturday about y'all going in and out of his office when you want to, and you were down there every week. If I was y'all, I would be ashamed to have that man saying that, and y'all ain't never got no answers to questions that's being asked of y'all. We done asked y'all to come up and bring us a report of how much money is left in the ARPA funds. Some of y'all been on here for 4 years. And you still ain't gave us no clear account of where the money has been spent. Maybe it was spent on those trash cans with that free campaign that he did with his names on the trash can. But I do have tape over his name in front of my house because I ain't advertising for him, because I ain't campaigning for him. He knows that. Let's think about that. KWA, 3 of y'all is named on the KWA board: Judy, Liddell, and the mayor. Get down there to Gleewood and make sure that somebody's on that board down there to represent Flint the way they supposed to, and quit letting us keep having an increased water bill the way we do. We know that you all have the ability to lower our water rates by going in, analyzing, and lowering what the service fees are. I know that. Eric Mays told us that years ago. God bless him. He's been gone for 2 years and still ain't nothing been done. Let's bring it up. Let's take care of the residents here. We should not have to incur the cost of what they charging to bring it here. If it was ARPA funds here, which we already know y'all, that money been misappropriated. That's the reason why we ain't never got no clear account of what happened to the money. But if you gave us a clear account and at least came in with some kind of a formulated budget, the city, then maybe the city council could approve a budget, approve money to come to you. I'm a citizen that's standing behind them. Don't approve it until they bring y'all something that you can see tangible. And don't give the police nothing as long as they beating the residents and mishandling them. The old man just came in here and said they arrested him and put him in jail and impounded his car.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Next speaker.
Monica Galloway.
Yes, right. Come on, Monica. Come on, speak.
Good evening, Council. I am present today at the invitation of the mayor via his press conference. I applaud the stand taken by the council. It was necessary to remind this community that there is still a water crisis. Let's define crisis: a time of intense difficulty, trouble, or danger, economic crisis, type of event that is an unstable and dangerous situation affecting an individual, group, community, or society as a whole. A stage in a sequence of events at which the trend of all future events, especially for better or for worse, is determined. It's considered a turning point. This 30-year deal, which is actually a forever deal, requires your full attention and investigation. My question to this council: have you read the contract? How many price increases have been since 2018 when it took effect? This contract was always a bad deal for Flint, and GLEWA is exercising their contractual rate and rights. So for those two that said we want to, I'm just sharing with you as the council that was here in 2017. I remember when then State Representative Sheldon Neely came into our chambers in a closed session and said to this legislative body, 2017, do not vote for this GLEWA deal. Maintain your right to partner with the KWA. But we didn't have the courage to do what he then told us to do. I say to you that this contract is so deep, you guys. It says that if that contract is found to be invalid for any reason, that we would owe them every bit of money that they've paid. Last year, the KWA came before this body to vote for a refinancing of the bond. Why? Because you're still a partner on paper. During this GLEWA contract, the KWA pipeline that we should have never been a part of, but we were, was taken from us in that deal. So what would that $660 million have done for the residents of the city of Flint instead of getting a check for each family that needed to prove that you were poisoned just because you didn't die? One, you could have used that money to pay off our bond. That would have immediately caused us to not be in debt. Two, we could have built a state-of-the-art water plant that would have allowed us to treat the raw water that would have been, we would have become the suppliers and not the consumers. And so stand your ground, council. Don't let anybody push you. It's an election year for everybody. And you have authority. You are to this mayor what the Congress is to the president in Washington. Don't back down.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Next speaker.
Mary Ann Jamison.
Good afternoon. My name is Mary Ann Jamison. I'm with the 2nd Ward. I'm here today because the lead program through Michael Carpenter came in my home, did some work, and then they demolished my garage and did not replace it. They came up with some lies about, oh, you violated the contract and came back in the house. I was told to come back in the house. And they told me to come back in the house. It was safe. The city said you can come back in. It passed a inspection and everything. So when I come back into my home, me and my son, the first person that come back in was Darren, and he the one that called me and told me it was safe to come back in. He knocking at the door. Oh, y'all in the house. It's a violation. Why would I come back in the house and I know it's not safe to come back in the house? You told me to come back in the house. And there was a setup between him and Michael Carpenter. And I found out they cousins. What? They cousins. Whoa. They stopped me up so they can say I violated a contract, which was no contract. There was no verbal contract, and there was no written contract that they cannot replace my garage if I re-enter my home. There's a bunch of bull mess going on. Somebody pocketing some money somewhere. Somebody pocketing money, said they spent $77,000 on my house. They ain't spent nothing because there's no money that came out their pockets. That was from the government. I am mad. All my stuff was out of my garage on the ground with a tarp on it. And a lot of it got demolished. My tables, my dining table, my Creole tablets, all crunched up in a pile on the ground. I talked to several people, some of you from the council, from down here, and they passed me on to somebody else. They don't care. Y'all don't care about what they done to people's homes and what they doing around here. I'm mad. I want to file criminal charges on who all involved. You don't tear down nobody's property and don't replace it. You don't do it. It's against the law to do that. And somebody should care. Somebody should care. I'm from the 2nd Ward. If you don't care, I'm thinking about running for 2nd Ward because I'm going to help the people of Flint do their job and care about the people. I've been staying here for 50 years and I pay taxes. I am entitled to get help when I need help. And y'all need to get up off y'all behinds and do y'all jobs. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, next speaker.
This is the last public speaker, Lottie Durrett.
Good afternoon, all. I just got a few things to say. I think I recall the last meeting I was here, something about some money being given to some trucks or some people so they can start filling in and fixing those leaks. I thought some people came down here and asked for some trucks and some money so they can have the right equipment so they can, stop them leaks and them cracks in them roads. But I could be wrong, but I could have swore somebody came up here and somebody asked, would another truck be good enough? And this is the reason why y'all should get another truck, but I could be wrong. And then another thing, I still hear and said the water rate already went up. But see, ain't no wool over my eyes because I peep how 1 month my water bill one thing, then the next month is higher, then it go back to its original, and then another month is higher, then it's its original, like I'm stupid, like I don't know no better. I have had the same 2 people with the same 2 schedules for the last 10 years at my house. So that means either something is being done wrong, because I know it ain't wrong on me. So either my meter is being read wrong or somebody pushing up them hikes on my water. But I could be wrong about that too. I might not know no better. Maybe I can't count past 3. I don't know, but the math ain't mathing. And another thing, while we talking all this home and people stuff, my cousin was hit the same way over in 5th Ward. People came in, left her house damaged, tore up, looking like it needed to be remodeled, refurbished. She paid somebody else to come in. She was so upset and hurt that she paid somebody else. She didn't even want to argue about it or fight about it. When people don't have confidence in their administration, in their people, don't look at us and say, oh, they ain't coming. People not coming because they don't have no belief. We believe ain't nothing gonna be done. So we looking at y'all like, oh, they sorry. They ain't no good. They ain't gonna do nothing. They lousy at their job. Nothing speaks good about what's going on down here in Flint. Residents is tired. But you know what? You don't watch people when they loud. You have to watch people when they quiet. Because bad boys move in silence. So you just have to watch when it's quiet. There's always a calm before the storm. I heard it's like 1,800 houses finna be up for auction off about water. 1,800 of them. They not telling y'all the truth. I'm telling y'all this next phase, baby. This next phase, y'all better get all y'all affairs in order with your water bills, with your taxes, with your foundations. I'm telling y'all they coming for that. That's the next move. They're going to try to condemn you out, tax you out, water bill you out. Trust me, I've been hollering this for the last 2 years. Go back to some of these meetings and what I've been saying. I saw that master plan in 2006. They can tell you what they want to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I know. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, to confirm, that was the last public speaker? Okay, it is now time for council.
That is correct.
It is now time for council response. Council members may respond once to all public speakers, only after all public speakers have spoken. An individual council member's response shall be limited to 2 minutes. Are there any council response?
Mr. Vice President.
Councilman in the 8th Ward.
Thank you. A couple of things. First off, Madam Secretary, can you please add a discussion item to the next government ops to discuss the lead paint removal program? And second of all, I want to address the mayor and his lies. And I've only got a minute and a half, and I know I can't cover all the lies in a minute and a half. So I think that it's telling when he had a call to arms to come down here in protest for the $1 million for that. And I can count on no fingers how many people came here and said that they wanted the $1 million. And there is no plan. And I would love to see a plan. To Ms. Claire's point, that what are we going to do with when the ARPA money is gone? And the ARPA money is gone. I mean, let's be honest with you, it's gone. More important, I mean, on top of that is we got the, like Ms. Mohammed mentioned the trash contract, we backstopped that with ARPA dollars too. So now we're going to have a double whammy with water and trash coming. So definitely be prepared for the tax increases there. I've asked for like a complete audit of where we are with the water department. I don't anticipate getting it. It's a sad day in Flint when we have been through the worst water crisis in history in America, for sure, and we don't know the status in the livelihood or the sustainability of our water department. We don't. We're just going to keep throwing $1 million, but next year we don't have ARPA dollars. So I look forward to seeing that.
Thank you. Any other council persons for public response? Councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
We only have 2 minutes to respond, so I'm going to go really quickly, and thank you all for being here. And I agree with Councilman Pfeiffer 100%. Ms. Houston, I will be sending a referral to request for an interpreter because, and you are correct, and with Michigan School of Deaf being here, it just continues to be ignored. They can figure out for everything else, let them figure out how to pay for that. So I will be sending that. In regards to the Gleba deal, we don't have representation. When that deal was signed, we were guaranteed to have a spot on that board. We have 0 representation on the Gleba board. Not just that, when Mayor Neely was elected in 2019, he knew he would have a problem with that contract. He didn't do anything for the balance of 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. He has no plan. He does not. Now we're being asked to approve revolving loans. And guess what? When we get those, even though they're forgiven, they come with another rate hike. They're not giving unsecured loans for $29.6 million. They're not doing that. And they don't reverse that rate because it has to be secured. And so we look at all these things, and people should be concerned. They should. I did send a referral to our chief legal attorney about the Gleba deal to look into see if it can be terminated, if there are any penalties, because Gleba had Flint over a barrel. And she is actually looking into that. And I know once she finishes what she can do, then we will have a special order to discuss it, to be transparent. And so that was sent last week. She is working on it, and because we need to create transparency. And so I want to say with the water main breaks, they have hired one team. If you got one, report it. Report it immediately. That's my time.
Thank you. Any other council response?
Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the 2nd Ward.
Thank you. So I just want to make a few comments. The first comment is to Ms. Jamison. I know that she reached out to me about the condition of her garage pertaining to the lead project. Well, I just want to be really clear that, and I want you to understand that just like you, we must go through administration to get this done. We can't act. We can't hire anyone. We can't go fix it. We have to go through administration. And so we must go through Mr. Clyde Edwards, who's sitting in the back. And so when we go through Clyde Edwards, he disseminated to Mike or Mr. Taylor, whoever the appropriate party is. So I encourage you to help us cut out the middleman, and please go back there and talk to Mr. Edwards. Furthermore, Ms. Deborah, who was talking about the main breaks, I definitely understand that as well. So again, we have a DPW director. His name is Clyde Edwards. He's sitting back there in the back. So if you have any questions, please refer to our acting DPW director. It's only so much that we can do from these seats. You know, we can ask for discussions. We can try to put things on the agenda for discussions. We can invite the mayor. And I know that he made the comment that individuals that voted no, they refused to meet with them. That's not true. I'm definitely open to meet with the administration that this city voted for. But we have to make sure that when we meet, we're meeting in truth and in transparency and honesty. So we have to be clear. No need to meet if we're not going to get the information that we seek. I call that a waste of time. So I would like to invite the mayor to please come to council and hear from council so we can have a dialogue about the ARPA funds and about the plan for the water fund. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other council members that would like to speak in council response?
Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the 3rd Ward.
I did talk to, I'd like to thank everybody for coming today. I did speak to Clyde Edwards and Ed Taylor today about the water main breaks that are on Kirkwood, Briarmeyer, and they are doing something about it. We have 23 water main breaks, okay? And they have to do the main streets first. But I have been talking to them, and we had one on Briarmeyer that they said they had been trying to contact people and they hadn't been returning their calls. So I'm getting calls because they know that I'm also running for the 2nd Ward. And they're asking, they are in process of getting the water mains repaired. So that is in process. We also had one on Kirkwood. I also called about that one as well. So they are in the process of getting these water main valves replaced. So they will be down there and they will be checking them out. So they do know, they have been contacted, and you should be seeing some progress this week or by next week. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other council persons that wish to speak during public comment? Seeing no movement, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, I make a
Yes.
motion to approve the, send the consent agenda to council.
There's a motion by the councilwoman in the 7th Ward to
I'll
send
second that motion.
consent agenda to council, seconded by the councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
Mr. Vice President?
Yes.
Total separation.
Total separation of the agenda. Madam Secretary, at this time we'll have a roll call vote.
No, he's separated, so you gotta go to the first
That's right. We
item.
don't have to do
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem.
Resolution 260071, rescind resolution.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I make a motion to, I forget how we have to do this. Send resolution 260071 to council.
There's a motion by the councilwoman in the 7th Ward to send it to council. I thought I heard second by the councilman in the 1st Ward. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
So what's going on with this resolution? In 260071 is to rescind resolution 25039 1.1-T, which was $150,000 ARPA funding to North Flint reinvestment. Council had previously approved this, but what happened was in the resolution, it was the wrong entity's name was in there. And so this resolution is simply correcting the resolution that council had already approved for the $150,000 for the, and this is for the food market on the north end. And so this resolution is simply correcting that, putting the correct name in to where the funding is supposed to go so that that funding can get to the food market. And I will be supporting it. I yield.
Thank you. Any other discussion in the first round?
Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
Who can speak to this? Who prepared the resolution? Nobody? Clyde, that may default to you.
Someone from the administration that can speak to the resolution?
Yeah, who prepared it? Oh, so he's Seamus now too?
26.
He the city administrator, he the
0071.
DPW, he the road signer, he's the chief resilient officer. It was a crossing guard. So, Mr. Edwards, some of these resolutions have been coming back, and it has been a problem with them that just error, that they're not being vetted properly before they're coming to us. So this one, the name has got to be changed, and this isn't the first one. I know, has St. Mark also been paid for theirs? And then I think there was a problem with Bethel. Who's completing these resolutions?
I don't recall what this with this particular resolution.
They got to change.
There was some name change. I did hear about that. We brought up the name that was there on the state of Michigan documents, because we do it by the state of Michigan registration documents, how they've been incorporated. So we get the name off of those everybody has to turn that in when they're being considered for financial purposes.
So this is just, it's the same. So was the original one the wrong corporation, or are these two separate corporations?
Yes.
And so why
This
did we
gentleman
approve
is-
the wrong one at first?
The first one would have been the right paperwork that was submitted. Apparently, there was some name change that took place, or a name change needed to take place in order to secure these funds. That's all I can tell you about that.
So why couldn't we use the prior one? How long?
I have no idea.
Was it because, when I'm trying to think, I'm trying to think because it hadn't been in existence in through you, hold on, Mr. Chair, to the city attorney. Attorney Gurley, is it a reason why we couldn't use the original?
Not that I'm aware of. Now, the North Flint market has several LLCs.
Okay.
And the one that was listed in the original resolution is active and in good standing, and the one that's here is active and in good standing. So I am not sure why there is a name change.
Well, so what is the difference? I'm trying not to laugh.
I have no idea, other than this needed to be submitted because it was
Who made the
suggested.
request to have it changed?
That would have been the person who put this together, probably was James, and so I would have to go back to him.
Okay, Mr. Borley, how are you?
I'm good. I don't know very much about this either, but this is what happened, from my understanding. They have a nonprofit and a co-op. They wanted the money for the co-op, but they're under the nonprofit. So it was just a matter of the name was put under the wrong, it's the same people.
Yeah, okay.
That's all this is.
Okay, so basically, it still goes to the food market. What about the use of the funds? I mean,
It would still be whatever it was resoluted.
so everything else stays the same?
Yes, that's my understanding.
Okay, your understanding. So Attorney Gurley, does everything stay the same? Just the name change? not how they can use the funds, the use of the funds.
We would need to look at the original resolution just to make sure, but from what is stated here, it is
Okay.
the same allocation for the same purposes. They're clarifying what the actual name entity it should go to. So both of them state that it's the same registered agent. So, I mean, we can always seek clarification from the North Flint Cooperative to make sure.
Is anyone here from there? No. Yeah.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Councilman in the 8th Ward.
So here's where I'm at. I understand that my colleagues want to pass this. I will be voting no matter what, but to me, isn't the North Flint Reinvestment also in charge of the the activity center? Is that under this one too? Because I want to make sure that my colleagues' intent was to make sure it went to the food co-op. So if it goes to the umbrella corporation that also is in charge of the event center, and these are general fund dollars, these aren't ARPA dollars, so they're not tied down the way ARPA dollars are. So, Mr. Edwards, how do we make sure that these are spent for the intention of my colleagues that they wanted to go to the food co-op? If it's still under the same umbrella as the event center,
As the attorney just pointed out, I think you got to go to the resolution and make sure.
I don't think that we put stipulations on the resolution. That's my problem.
That's my problem.
I don't think that there's stipulations on the original resolution. Maybe I could be wrong, but I think it just went. It was just a generic resolution that was. No, this was allocated after the $40 million went to our general fund. It's not ARPA money.
It's not.
So here, I mean, I think that someone from the North Flint Cooperative or whatever their name change is this week needs to come before us and tell us how these monies are going to be allocated for the food co-op. So that's my opinion. I'll yield to my colleagues, but I don't support this no matter what. But to me, I think we need to put checks and balances in it to make sure that it's used for the food co-op.
On this, it does state ARPA. Yeah,
it's under the allocation, but it's not under the rules of ARPA spending.
So
That's it.
The resolution
doesn't.
isn't binding to the Treasury rules. And once we
Okay.
allocated the 40 million,
Point of information.
I'm still in
What is-
line,
what is-
Judy, hold on a second, please. Because we need to do this, if we're changing this, we need to do it right, so they don't have to come back.
Okay. What is
that's-
your
Yeah.
My
point of
point
information?
is as I stated at our last, a meeting or two ago, that I learned that once we put that money in general fund, it now falls under the state regulations for how we spend the money, and ARPA rules no longer apply. So Mr. Pfeiffer is correct to that.
Request for information or point of information.
What is your point?
Be it further resolved that the appropriate city officials are hereby authorized to do all things necessary, including executing any necessary agreements to appropriate the amount in funding to North Flint Reinvestment. Before the funds are spent, the City of Flint's ARPA Administration Compliance and Implementation Firm shall review and ensure compliance with applicable U.S. Department of the Treasury final rule and related federal guidance. Meaning whatever y'all are saying is incorrect because we have a resolution, and our resolutions are legally binding in law. So our resolution says it has to. That's what our resolution said before. That's what this resolution says now. So it has to go through that.
Request for information.
What is your request?
My request, is this because the monies were put, the 40 million were put into the general fund, and once they were deposited in there or absorbed, that it no longer is ARPA funds? And so have we received something back from the Department of Treasury stating that once those funds were deposited, we are no longer required to go by the ARPA funds, and I didn't vote to put the 40 million in there.
Yes, Madam.
Point of information.
Miss in the, Councilwoman in the 6th Ward, once we allocated that to lost revenue, that was the allocation. I've been saying it for a year now, that the ARPA rules no longer apply to anything of that $40 million. We say ARPA on here, but they are not applicable to the Treasury rules.
What is your point of information?
As I mentioned before, I have asked for a legal opinion on our resolution and with the status of where this fits into our ARPA regulations, or our ARPA resolution and how it works. And we have not received that back, and that is one of the reasons why I have not given any information, because until I have something from our legal department that absolutely says this is what it is, I'm not going to say it in person. However, from what I'm hearing from other finance departments across the state is that once you put it into the general fund, it no longer is ARPA dollars and does not need to follow the ARPA rules. So, but I am waiting for that legal opinion.
I'm glad you're finally admitting that, because I've been saying it for a year and I've been called a liar.
Okay.
I've been called a liar. So I just think that we need to have checks and balances. So I hope my colleagues leave this here and truly look into this to make sure that it's being allocated and spent according to your intentions of the food co-op. And I yield. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
I'd
Hold
ask
on.
for the floor.
Councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
Yes, so I am, all of these shell corporations, LLCs, multiple ones, that they have nonprofit for the food market is very confusing. And now to hear that I was not in favor of this resolution, I've never been in favor of it, I'm still standing by that. Excuse me, I'm going to call you to order. So, but I share the concern of Mr. Pfeiffer, of Councilman in the 8th Ward, regarding what was the intent for the money, how is it going to be spent. If my understanding is that it was for the co-op, not for the reinvestment corporation, and then the property is owned by another corporation, and it's just it's all convoluted, and unless we have some specifics, I'm going to vote against it. I always will. I always have. I always will vote against this. But there is some serious concerns, especially with the name change, when I believe the intent was for the co-op to have the money for operating expenses, and that is not the reinvestment corp who operates the co-op. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion in the first round?
Mr. Chair.
Let me make sure first round is.
I didn't get a chance to speak in the first round.
I was the first. Or Tanya was the first.
Okay, go ahead. Councilwoman in the 7th Ward.
Thank you. Madam, through you to the attorney, Madam Attorney, and that be it further resolved, where it says what I just read. The resolutions, once they are approved by council, are legal and binding, so it has to go exactly how the resolution reads that council sent, correct?
That is correct. We just have to make sure that the funding is coming either from the strictly ARPA fund, or if it's coming from the ARPA replacement.
So, but this is the thing. We had the resolution that council passed stating that before that money was put in the general fund, that it would still be treated as ARPA money, correct? And that any of that money, before it could be spent, had to come through council, and correct? So that is the resolution that we put forth.
Okay, so that has to be reviewed, because I don't want to misspeak. I need to see that resolution, because, I mean, you guys did the ARPA replacement funding back in 2023, December of 2023. So I was not here. So I need to make sure of what were the constraints of that. Was there, because the way I've seen it, there's two separate ARPA funds. There's the ARPA that was dedicated to different organizations, and then there's ARPA for the general fund. So I think there's tracking that's going along with the ARPA that was put into the general fund, and they call that ARPA so that it's tracked. But once it becomes part of the general fund, then you have to abide by the regular rules of the general fund. So I have a meeting tomorrow with our investment group to go over these rules just to make sure, so I don't want to misspeak. But at this rate right now, the only thing I can tell you is that if
This resolution was approved contingent upon we're using the funding from the ARPA food access category.
Okay.
The resolution that we passed stating that the money would go into the general fund contingent upon council, anything before it could be spent, that council had to approve. We approved this based on that.
Okay.
And so because that was approved based on that, I don't understand why we're all of a sudden saying that this is not subject to the ARPA rules as it states.
I think that's a question that you've presented to your fellow council persons, right? That is the question that Councilman Pfeiffer has asked, and the same question that Councilperson Priestley is asking. So what I've said to you is I have to ask the firm that is working with the city about how these dollars are being designated and what are the constraints. So I'm not gonna misspeak. That's all I can tell you right now. And I need to look at your first reso. I just have the one that's here. So the issue was supposed to be whether or not these dollars went to the right organization. And then it morphed into.
Correct. And all this is them serving as a fiduciary for the food mart. So that's all this resolution is saying, is that this organization is serving as a fiduciary for the food mart, and that our original resolution, only thing that's changing is who the fiduciary is for the money. Other than that, it's the only place that the money can go is to the food mart, because the resolution that council approved was only for it to go to the food mart, nowhere else. So that, for me, that's not even a question of where is it going. And not my colleague in the 4th Ward, I'm sure she misspoke and didn't mean to be insulting, insinuating that people had shell companies. I'm sure that's not what she meant. But what I will say is, again, this reputable organization is serving as a fiduciary for the food mart. So the food mart can receive the ARPA dollars from the ARPA food category, from the ARPA food access category, which is what was approved and which is what this is. All of this is here in front of us is making sure that the fiduciary can get the money properly to the food mart. It's not going anywhere else. So again, I'm sure my colleague in the 4th Ward misspoke when she started speaking of shell companies. Maybe she was just speaking in general and not ruining names and reputations of anyone in Flint who serves Flint. I yield.
Thank you. Any other speakers in the first round?
Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the 2nd Ward.
Thank you. So on behalf of the residents of the 2nd Ward, and in addition to those that reside on the north side, that is a big reason why I supported this resolution, because the value of a food market, it raised the value of your neighborhoods. I spoke before that the value of a food market, the value of having a food market within your neighborhood, it enriches property, it enriches investment. You know, when people are applying for grants, they look at, does the neighborhood have a school? You know, what's the condition of the school? Are they new? That specific area, they have brand new schools. And then they also look at groceries. They look at proximity to public transportation. So the food market is essential to this area. So that's why we passed it, and we passed it the first time. And so it is here because I believe that it was a misprint or a mistake as far as administratively, but they are just serving as the fiduciary. That's it, just the fiduciary, just the hand that makes sure that the funds are allocated to the appropriate places and that the funds hit the target. So I hope that my colleagues will not be, I'll say, moved in another direction, that we can continue to give the food market this money that they've been seeking for quite some time. If you go in the food market, you'll see it's a thriving place. It's beautiful. Very nice employees. It's a very nice thing that we can call ours on the north side. And so I'm very troubled to hear when them being referred to as a shell company because you know, just because it's on the north side does not mean that it's a shell company. But they are investing in our neighborhood, and through this fiduciary, they're trying to allocate funds that they rightfully applied for. And so if this body's going to grant them the money as we did the first time, it's only fitting if we just continue to move forward with the good work with this process. And I also would like to just touch on the resolution 230464.1. It's near and dear to my heart because it was one of the reasons why I was recalled. It is for the transfer of the $40 million that we were talking about. And so it says in the resolution, it says that, that any expenditures or reallocation of these funds shall be made according to the plan approved by who? City Council. And only after such expenditures or reallocations have been specifically authorized by resolution of who? The City Council. So we are the City Council. So we have
Request for information.
What is your request?
Can the councilwoman in the second ward give that resolution number again for our attorney?
Absolutely, and I'll also send her a copy as well.
Thank you.
It is Resolution 230464.1, presented on December 20th, 2023. So, thank you so much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any other speakers in the first round? In the first round. We'll move on to the second round. Is there any discussion in the second round?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Councilman in the eighth ward.
Through you to the councilwoman in the second ward, I don't have that resolution in front of me. Does it state that the administration still goes through Ernst & Young for all of that documentation?
So, according to, I'll also send you a copy as well, because I sent one to Mr. Vice President. I do not see any mentioning of Ernest Young in this resolution. So I will gladly send it to you and the attorney right now.
Thank you. Just to be clear, Ernst & Young hasn't overviewed any of the $40 million things. Any of the $40 million that this body has went to general fund and we claim it's ARPA, Ernst & Young hasn't reviewed any of those. Just heard from Paul. Just asked Paul 2 seconds ago. So Ernst & Young is not contracted to, are you going to provide some clarity?
Yes.
Okay.
No, yes, we are still sending any resolution that is discussed in council that is ARPA has gone to.
Paul just told me 2 seconds ago, I asked him clear as day, is any of the $40 million that was transferred to general fund, was any of those allocations sent to Ernst & Young? He said no.
You asked me if we were paying Ernst & Young for managing those funds. We are not.
So there's no, so with part of the management is the documentation and the verification that the funds are spent properly, right?
They're
So they're doing it for free?
They are continuing to, they're still under contract, they are continuing to vet ARPA in every form. We still have conversations. We have a meeting every Tuesday to discuss ARPA, both the ARPA that is in the 287 and the ARPA that's in the 40 million.
So what are they verifying if they're verifying general funds?
Say again? I'm sorry, sir.
They are verifying the way we spend general funds out of the general fund?
No, they're making sure that the administration is compliant with its own programming that was set forth by City Council. We talk to them and say, this is a program based on what was approved in this bucket by City Council.
But what are they cross-referencing to the rules of?
They're not cross-referenced to the rules. They're cross-referencing to the fact that we stay consistent
So
with what we put together.
So part of the initial, and I'm out of time, was to manage those funds, and they're not doing that, so they have a separate contract?
No. No, there's no separate contract.
Thank you. Any other discussion in the second round?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
so are all, Clyde and you and Mr. Borley, through you, Chair, Mr. Chair. So here's the concern, because this isn't gonna just be a problem with this organization. It's gonna be a problem with anything how much is left in ARPA funds? That's not because we've been asking how much is left in ARPA funds, what's allocated, where the funds spent, and we just can't get it. I've been asking for it for over 2 years. Councilwoman Lewis stated she's been asking for February, maybe 4th and 8th. It's been over 2 years. Where are these funds spent? Because if we're spending them now, and the mayor said on his press conference where he threw council underneath the bus, he stated council knows where this money is at. Council knows it has been absorbed into the general fund, the 40 million. So how are we looking at these funds? That was his press conference, not mine. So how are we, if we're looking general fund and we're hearing and stating, is Ernst & Young giving an approval or a denial when you're meeting with them on Tuesday? And it's like a Zoom meeting that you're having? Or is it in person?
It is a Zoom meeting right now. It has been a Zoom meeting, and we talk to get clarification.
So they're not given a written approval or denial. You get clarification like a verbal consult, because this is general funds and it's not ARPA.
They give us a clarification on the appropriate use based on the way that we programmed or wrote our programs for ARPA funds.
So the mayor said we're using general funds, and we have a healthy general fund. And that we know that 40 million for the 5 who voted for it, they know where it went, and it was absorbed into the general fund. And so, I mean, and here's my thing. We're gonna have this problem, not only with this organization, but with every organization. If they're not giving you a written approval on a spreadsheet, they used to give you a spreadsheet. Are they giving you any spreadsheets to let you know if it's approved or not approved? Mr. Drzezinski, Ernst & Young, do they let you know? Other than they're just guiding you verbally?
All of that, all of the qualifications of dollars spent are contained in a dashboard. We do have a dashboard that they look at and we look at.
Mr. Chair.
And see, and so the city attorney is stating she needs to
Discussion
look
in the
at it.
second round. Councilwoman in the 2nd Ward.
Thank you so much. And so, through you, Mr. Chair, to Mr. Edwards. The ARPA team, I guess, meet every Tuesday. So seeing that how me and Councilwoman Priestley were on the ARPA team, we are the council representative, why haven't we been invited to any of these meetings?
I am not sure why, other than it is the administration's team that has been involved and is directly working with, as it always has been, the administration's team directly working with E&Y.
I don't know why either. And again, that's troubling. So I know you just mentioned the dashboard, how things on the dashboard. Why don't y'all just print the dashboard and bring it up here? I've been asking since, on paper, since February the 4th. And then I sent the email saying, we're going to discuss it February the 8th. No discussion, no nothing. Last council meeting, I put it on the agenda, I attempted to, it was taken off. No discussion, no nothing. You all coming up here with no discussion, no nothing. And And it's sad when we hear, us being accused of, stopping the city business, when honestly, administration, you're in violation of stopping the city business because we asked for some documents so we can make a lucid decision, but you won't give us what we need. So, this is no vendetta. This isn't anything personal. This is just two things can be done at once. All we have to do is give us the information for ARPA so we have an understanding of where we're going from here. And please preview the resolution that says none of that money can move unless this body approves it.
Request for information.
What is your request?
What is this ARPA dashboard that you speak of? Do you have access to it?
I'm not even invited to the meeting, so I'll ask through you, Mr. Chair, to our speaker again. So what is this dashboard that you speak of, and do we have access to it?
It is just a tool for all of us, meaning the administration, to understand what has been taking place so that we can come here and share information.
But you all come here with nothing. And
I disagree with that.
And you're not sharing it.
I disagree with that.
Pardon?
I said I disagree with that. We have come here every time we presented or brought a program with the resolution. There is a
great point. You mentioned program.
Yes.
So when you say program, are these the mayor's programs or our programs? Because
Yeah,
we don't have input for any programs. So what are your programs that you're talking about coming from these dollars on this dashboard that you give us information for?
The programs are the ones that you authorize and the buckets that you authorize them for the organizations that you authorize. And we bring every single resolution to council that outline that information. Every approval comes from you before we distribute the money.
Thank you.
Mr.
Any
Chair.
other speakers? Councilwoman in the...
Thank you. I just spoke to the city attorney, and she meets with Ernst & Young tomorrow because we do have a general fund and an ARPA issue. And so we need to make sure, because that is the legal department's responsibility to vet, we need to make sure. I don't know whose time is left because I've spoken.
Yep.
You haven't. So I know that the city attorney will be meeting with them tomorrow.
Yeah, was there a motion that you were making, or did the councilwoman in
I'm
the
gonna let her
seventh
speak.
ward
No,
finish
I
speak?
get it. I'm gonna let her speak. Because it may be some.
I mean, I'll take my time, but I've already said what I had to say. I'm in support of moving this forward because, again, as the city attorney pointed out, the only thing that is before us right now is whether or not we're going to change the fiduciary. So this doesn't change this resolution of whether or not we're going to allow them to serve as the fiduciary to give the food mark the $150,000. Even when she goes back, I mean, obviously that is something that is pressing for council to get an answer to moving forward about what is a legally binding resolution that council approved, therefore it has to be followed, but I'll let the attorney come back and tell us that. But
Request for information.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I'm not the chair.
Oh, yes.
The request?
Right.
I'm sorry.
To you, do we, if it is general fund, do we need to change the resolution because it says City of Flint ARPA? I mean, and I think we need to make sure we're wording our resolution correctly.
So the only reason
And
I
that's
was.
what the city attorney had stated.
Okay.
I would agree. I mean, at this juncture, you need to make sure that the language is correct so that when you go back to check to see where the funds are coming from, you know exactly what that should be.
Sounds good. I make a motion to leave this here in special affairs.
There's a motion to leave resolution 260071 in special affairs by the councilwoman in the 7th ward, seconded by the councilman in the 8th ward. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Dr. Lewis,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Priestley,
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter,
Yes.
Ms. Burns,
Yes.
Ms. Mashat,
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer,
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett,
Yes.
Mr. Al-Alamin,
Yes.
9 yes, 0 no.
Vote is 9 yes, 0 no. Resolution 260071 will remain in special affairs. We are now moving to ordinances.
Nope, we're on
Oh,
resolution.
I'm sorry. Put these back on. 260082, collective bargaining
Mr.
agreement.
Chair,
Yes.
I make a motion to send resolution 260082, the collective bargaining agreement, City of Flint, Flint Police Officers Association, to council.
Motion to move 260082 to council by the councilwoman, councilwoman in the 7th Ward, supported by the councilman in the 1st Ward. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
Thank you. So, we do now have the figures that Mr. Moore or Mr. Borley, I don't know which one, we were waiting on the figures, and I want to say this. I didn't appreciate the mayor gaslighting this community, because we were not holding this up. But when you come unprepared with figures that we shouldn't have had to have asked for, no one said that they weren't supporting the police, but that was a soundbite for him, and it just wasn't true. We had 0 figures on how much for each year that this contract would cost. We had nothing. So it was basically saying, here, vote on it. We now see that those guaranteed 5 votes aren't here, that we all have to do our jobs. And that's the way it should have been all along. And so, Mr. Moore, so thank you for you and Mr. Borley said you would have it ready Monday. Thank you. We appreciate that. So can you tell us about the cost? And you did state that you felt it was comfortable enough that the city could afford it. You've got the floor. Can you tell us about your figures?
The first year, we estimate that we'll spend no more than $600,000. We have calculated the retro pay, and we estimate that's going to be, if it was paid out as of the last payday, it would have been about $280,000.
280,000?
That's correct.
And how long would it take before our officers receive that?
Under the contract, we have 30 days to calculate it and pay the officers. We'll obviously have to wait until we get the timesheets again before we can calculate it. So it'd be after we get the timesheets, and then we'll start the calculation again.
Okay. And so this is a 3-year contract, and it's going to become effective.
It'll become effective as soon as the city council takes action.
Okay. So I appreciate you getting the figures. And how many officers will this affect?
61.
So 61, and it's just our patrol.
Right, that's correct.
Okay. So our officers, and I have talked about the chart. So they are really now up to about the rate that on that chart that they're still, I think, below University of Michigan. They're going to be just about equal with Grand Blanc, maybe 6 or 7 other agencies, but it's just equal. So for me, when I look at it, is this really a great deal? I'm not going to say it's a great deal, but they voted on it. Because here's the thing, the municipalities that get around the same pay run about 4 to 7 calls. Flint police officers are running anywhere from 20 to 30 sometimes. And so they're working 5 times as hard for the same pay. And they get burned out. And so we know it's campaign season, so for you officers, you will be a bullet point as he asks you to endorse him on there, but this was not your best deal. It was not, because you work 5 times harder. The municipalities that don't have homicides, opioid crisis, you don't have 20, 30 calls or 50 calls on the board when you come in to where you never are able to catch up. I appreciate what you do, but you deserved more than this to retain you. You deserve more. But you will be a campaign bullet point that he got you this greatest deal, which it actually states this is the largest financial increase for police officers in the history of Flint. But it doesn't speak about the fact that you were left behind for years. It does not. Thank you for serving and showing up. I hope that this helps to improve, but your next one, you need to make sure, when Councilman Mays was here, he made sure he appreciated and told our officers, you deserve more. And understand that we get you're doing 5 times the more work, and you're appreciated. This should have been more, but I will be supporting this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion in the first round? Councilman in
Mr.
the
Chair.
8th Ward.
Yeah. I want to just ditto what Councilwoman Burns said. During the committee meeting, at no point did any council member state that said they were in opposition to this. They were asking questions about cost. And I even spoke to the police officers that were here and the union people were here and told them that we just want cost. So them to pull, the mayor to pull them into the press conference and basically, in other words, calling us terrorists for not supporting this is absolutely ridiculous. It just boggles my mind on how much he wants to just throw fire at council and try to cause chaos when at no point it's for the fact that anyone on this council wouldn't support a pay increase for our police officers when we were just asking questions about cost. It's funny to me. Mr. Chair, through you to the secretaries, can you add this executive summary to the record so that this is on the meeting minutes? I want to make sure that this is part of the record because this is the only thing, someone going back in time would not be able to know what the cost was because unless they watch the meeting. So I want to make sure that this written cost is part of the meeting minutes. So that's my request. And I think Councilwoman Burns stated clearly that our police officers are overworked and underpaid. They have been for years. And of course, you know, we all knew that this was going to come during election season, that you were going to, you should have held out for more. I mean, to me, you guys could have got 10 or 12% and got paid more than the county. I don't know why you guys didn't hold out, to just being honest with you. And you probably would have got full support. So it is what it is. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you. Any other discussion in the first round?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Councilwoman in the 7th Ward.
Thank you. I am in support of this, as I've been in support of this. I feel like this is one of those things that we're long overdue. We constantly talk about our retention numbers as far as officers are concerned and them leaving. One thing about it, whether we like the terminology or not, it is historic because we've never had this many officers vote yes on an agreement. So that's the thing that makes it historic. Certainly anyone who risks their lives by going out and going into all of the situations that our police officers end up in and our firefighters, you deserve an amount of money that I don't think anybody is able to pay you. And I think that when the time comes for you all to get more, because you certainly deserve more, I will be standing behind you to get that as well. But we are here today to vote for you to get what you all unanimously voted on, and I am in full support of it. You will have my yes in special affairs. You will have my yes in council. I yield.
Thank you. Any other discussion in the first round?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
I've always been unwavering in my support for our police officers and in the fact that they have been underpaid. The wages that our officers get, as our councilwoman in the 7th Ward has stated, have been notoriously low. They are overworked. I've spoken to several officers, and they tell me, one person told me he had like 3,000 new cases for the year, and that was in September, if I'm correct. We can't stay up on top of that. Maybe this way, by increasing our pay, we can recruit more officers to come to Flint. And Ms. Mashat and I have also been discussing about options on what we can use to incentivize police officers to come and stay and live in our community. So I am 100% behind this contract. I wish it was more, but it is a negotiated agreement, and I have always stood by that and said that all wages are negotiated, and I stay out of that. But I am going to proudly support our officers, as I have done since the day I was elected, and vote for this contract. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion in the first round? Councilwoman in the second ward, are you?
Sure, I'll take the floor.
Thank
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm 100% for it. I echo the sentiments of my colleagues. I don't think they get paid enough for what they have to endure. But in the meantime, yeah, they are here, and as long as they are pushing to be Flint strong, we are pushing right along with them. And so thank you for bringing the information that we needed. So through you, Mr. Chair, to Mr. Pfeiffer, so were they supposed to put it in the resolution, or is it good to go?
Obviously, that would have been my preference, but it should be in the resolution, but that's why I added this, because there is nothing in the resolution. They didn't change the resolution, so that would have been my request, yes.
Through the chair.
All right.
I'm sorry, I'll wait. Oh, well, through the chair, this resolution, as it's reflected here, is the way that the resolution is normally written. So that's why it wasn't changed, but we made sure that the actual tentative agreement was attached to it so that it is for the record as well.
Thank you, Madam Attorney. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes,
I would
Councilwoman
like
in the
to
fifth
take-
ward.
I do want to say that I support this resolution 100%. As a council member that's been here since 2017, I was elected in 2017, I have always supported the police officers. I remember when I first got elected, you all had went into negotiations and you got a raise, and you hadn't had a raise in years. And I thought that was ridiculous. But I do think that you deserve more than what's here listed. And I want to say that I resent the mayor having a press conference and you know, calling the council, members of the council, obstructionists. We never said that we weren't going to vote for this. We want numbers. I will never vote on anything without knowing the financial implications that it will have on this city. So if I'm an obstructionist, so be it. I'll continue to be an obstructionist. And then I'm going to say, Mr. Moore, as our CFO, I would hope in the future that you would come prepared with the numbers, okay? We need numbers because we hold the financial purse string. The council does. We make the decisions. We vote. So with that, I'm going to support this. But in the future, I would hope that you would come prepared with all of the numbers that you may think that the council members would want to have to make an informed decision. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any other discussion in the first round? Any other discussion in the first round? Then I'll take a few minutes here now and also state that for me, in between the getting of the introduction of the resolution by way of an email and public notice that there's a special meeting being called, I think the day before. And then the information that was shared and discussed in closed session, for me, I felt for as deserving as those that serve are to receive increase, it would have been irresponsible of me in my fiduciary capacity as the council person in the 9th Ward to approve that resolution without understanding the financial impact to the citizens and the taxpayers of this community. So in that's why I was unwilling to approve it in that evening. But even in it not being approved that evening in that special city council meeting, there was desire of council persons to want to see this happen for our officers. That's why it got moved to this meeting, so that we could get the information that was